Ramona.
Yeah, my first note for this movie is such drama.
Are you a Doge circa 2012?
Correct. It's based on a very popular novel from a few years earlier, um, and I guess it's notable for, I don't know if it's like the first. Well, it's one of the first movies to be shot in California, American movies to be shot in California.
Well, I think there were some earlier independent movies that were shot in California.
Yeah, it is not the first. It's not even the first D.W. Griffith movie to be shot in California. He made
Hmm.
one earlier in 1910 that I could not find anywhere. I think it's lost. That I believe holds the distinction of being the first movie to be shot in Hollywood, like the Hollywood region of California.
Oh, I think I found that, but I didn't actually watch it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
But this is also like a very early California made movie.
Yeah.
And I think what's kind of interesting about, I guess, both of them is that they're both stories specifically about California. They didn't just go out there to start making movies because the light was good,
Right.
which was kind of always my assumption because the light there is very good. Um, it was more like, oh no, we need to make this movie about old timey California. Let's just go
Yeah.
there and make it rather than shoot it here in Jersey like we're
And
doing
I
everything
guess
else.
DW had that kind of sway that he was able to convince Biograph to fly him and his whole. Wait, it
Yeah,
wouldn't be
I don't
fly,
think they
would it?
flew. I'm guessing they
Yeah.
took the train.
That yeah.
That would have been
Wow.
very
Huh.
cutting edge if they flew.
Very expensive
Yeah.
too.
We bought one of the two planes in existence.
Yeah. There were some other movies that were. I mean, I think the initial movies that were shot in California were people who were running away from Edison and the Motion Picture Patents Company, the whole Edison Trust, and they were going all the way to California to try and steer clear of his lawyers so that they could make movies in peace over there. But that was a story for another week.
Yeah.
Ramona is a sort of tragic romance love triangle situation, which we're going to be seeing a bit more of later in the episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of love triangles this year in film.
Yeah, yeah. Roughly, it's like there's a woman who, there's a Spanish woman who falls, or a Mexican woman, I guess.
Well,
Who,
I think I was trying to figure this out because it's kind of and I think in the book she's half Scottish, half Native American. In the movie, I think she's half Spanish, like from Spain, and
yeah.
half Native American.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, she doesn't actually know that she's Native American because she's
Yeah.
adopted. She falls in love with a Native American man who is also played by Henry B. Walthall, who is white, and he her mother disapproves. Is that a word? Disapproves?
Yeah, sure.
Alcoves.
Um,
She doesn't approve of their relationship. She wants her to get with this other guy. They run away, but in the process of the early part of the movie, this Native American man's hometown is burned down by racists. And this is actually a movie that is pro Native American, I don't know, independence and
What-
and
What's the
respectability.
subtitle? What's the subtitle of it? It's like
Oh my God, I don't remember.
Ramona colon like the story of the Native Americans' persecution by the white man or something like that.
Yeah, a story of the white man's injustice to the Indian.
Yeah. And this was one where I was like, DW, I thought you were like big racist on campus.
Yeah. That was a little baffling to me too. I guess he likes Native Americans, but does not like black people.
Apparently. It should be noted Mary Pickford plays the lead, Ramona, in this also.
Yeah.
So yeah, they run away.
Yeah. There's some really nice outdoor photography. of the mountains in the background. Like this
Yeah.
is the reason that they were trying to be here in California, was to get these kind of gorgeous outdoor shots. It is kind of actually like a little washed out. I don't think the cameras could handle the entire landscape. Like they had the people in the foreground who were lit fine, but then a bit of the landscape looked okay, but then there were mountains in the background that looked like pretty washed out.
I'm curious if they were washed out or if they're just overexposed. I'm not entirely
Oh,
sure.
I
Could have
didn't
been
know
that
those
too.
were different things. This
Well.
is
This is why I'm on the show.
to nitpick film stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I don't want to pigeonhole you like that.
I also definitely took note of there's some really nice landscape cinematography. And some really nice staging.
But for like the second half of the movie, basically the two of them are just on the run from racists, pretty much. And
They keep
have
trying to settle down, and then a bunch of racists come and drive
point
them
guns
away.
at them.
Yeah.
They have a baby, and in the process of them running away, the baby dies. In a title card called "The Baby's Death," and they're
I shouldn't be laughing. It's very sad.
I mean, people laugh at dead baby jokes, and I think dead baby jokes that are 111 years old, it's okay. But anyway, yeah, they kind of mourn over the baby, and it's pretty good acting. They are sad,
Yeah.
sad as heck.
This Mary Pickford gal is really going places.
Yeah. Yeah, and then some racists come up and kind of point guns at them even while they're just mourning over their recently dead baby. But her the guy that her mom was trying to get her to get with ends up saving her as her love dies.
Yeah.
And that's a D.W.
Well,
Griffith movie for
her
you.
love is driven mad by grief.
Oh, that's
from
that's
the dead
right.
baby.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
is wandering the woods, and then just gets murdered randomly by some wandering racist.
Probably had a lot of those back in the day.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. Another very, very sad, very dour film. I do think. I think when D.W. Griffith is working off of some a pre-existing work, the films tend to be a little bit stronger. I'm noticing.
Huh. I would actually say that you were saying that The Fugitive was stronger, but I liked In the Border States. It had more of an emotional angle to it. Felt like it was more empathetic. But I can see your point. What else was based on a book was Birth of a Nation.
I do think watching Ramona, I made me think about. I think the single biggest thing that I think makes D.W. Griffith's movies, at least the ones that we've watched, sort of rise above many of the others that are being made at the same time, is I think even more than the cross-cutting editing stuff is just moving the camera closer to the actors. Which,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's so nice. It's so nice.
He
to get
can't
a
take credit
medium
for
shot.
that because a lot of other filmmakers are doing that around the same time. It's becoming more and more of a common thing.
Thankfully.
Yeah. But that's the biggest takeaway from movies from 1910 as opposed to 1907 is you can see the actors' faces much more clearly.
Yeah.
And that's makes such a big difference.
It helps so much with reading the emotions and just actually getting into the movie.
Yeah.
Is being able to see what the actors are doing. And it means they don't have to be as broad with their acting either. One other one that we can touch on for a bit is called White Fawn's Devotion, which holds the honor of being the earliest surviving, at least, movie that's directed by a Native American.
Mm-hmm.
although it doesn't actually portray the Native Americans in a very great light,
Right.
especially compared to the racist who directed Ramona.
If you had shown me both these movies side by side and said one of these is directed by a infamously racist director and one is directed by the first Native American director, I would have guessed the opposite of which films were which.
Yeah.
This is also a weird movie that is the first film directed by a Native American director, and it's French. It's a Pathé film. One of, not their first, but one of their first that was produced in the States.
Yeah, Pathé was getting a little criticism for their westerns not feeling authentic enough, and
so they went to New Jersey.
So they went to New Jersey. Yeah.
They went. Yeah.
But at least they grabbed a Native American and gave him the reins to the camera to make a. It's all right.
I mean, it's mostly just a chase film, and it's not. I don't think it's a good film because the entire core, like, drama of it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
It's based on this like misunderstanding. It's like there's a white settler who has a Native American wife who's played by the Native American wife of the director, and he gets a letter that says that he's got a huge inheritance and come back to the East Coast to come pick it up, and his wife is so distraught that she thinks he'll never come back. She stabs herself and almost dies. The dad comes back and he is upset. He's holding the knife and has her dead body there, or seemingly dead body. The daughter finds him and then runs to the other the nearby Native American tribe people, and says, "My dad killed my mom. Go get him." And so they chase him, and he
he shoots several of them while being chased.
Yeah,
having committed actual murder in his escape from the false murder.
So we know he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And they finally catch him. They have him strung up, and they're like, "Here, daughter, it's only right. It's poetic justice if you knife your dad in response." So they give her the knife, and they're just egging her on to like slit her dad's throat or something.
They've tied a rock over his tied up body, and she's supposed to cut the rope so the rock will fall on him.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's how I took it.
I didn't even see the rock.
Which is a pretty diabolical way of killing somebody.
Huh. I didn't even see the rock. I was a little confused there. Huh. But his mom, or her mom, wakes up just in time and says, "No, I'm alive. It's okay.
I stabbed myself.
He didn't do anything wrong. I stabbed myself." And they're like, weird.
You're like, all right.
Yeah. They're like, "You still killed some of our friends, so leave."
That never comes up.
I think it comes up in the tone in which they say, like, they exit the scene.
They're
right?
just kind of like, get out of here.
Yeah, to just like, God, like, we're so done with this. Just leave.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't really portray, I think, the drama that it's trying to that well. Some of the chase stuff is kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a scene where he's rappelling down a cliff by a rope, and then the guy chasing him cuts the rope to make him fall down harshly. Doesn't kill him though.